Hey plastic model builders, welcome back. You are now looking at our newest video for the F-4C Phantom. If you did not see our last series, which was the B-1B Lancer by Revell, check it out. It's a 1/48 scale model. It's pretty cool. So here we are as usual. We're throwing our parts into this nice warm, mild, soapy water. That way we can wash off any stuff from the factory that's on there. We always show you this because, you know, there might be some new people watching that haven't seen this and don't know that you do it. So there they are. Now we rinse them off after they've sat for like 15-20 minutes. Get all that good stuff off. So first thing first, we're going to paint the pilot and put them together. Well, not put them together just yet. We're going to paint them. There's two pilots. I only did one. Got a little bit of flashing here, you know, clean that stuff off, make the pilot look good before you paint him. Got a little bit of stuff right here on his helmet. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start by painting his flight suit. It's an olive green color like most flight suits are. You know, his hands are going to go black and his helmet's going to go white. Of course, his face goes tan. So here we are painting some gloves. They are black. His boots are black, of course. You get the top, bottom, and sides. It doesn't really matter because you really don't see much of these unless you really hold this model up at a certain angle. Right here, we're painting some of the ejection handles black. I already have the black paint out, so we may as well do this. Just show you the process as we're going along here. It makes more sense to do it that way. At least, that's what I think. So these are the handles. We're going to put a bit of yellow on these eventually as well, too. So here we go. Now we've got some gray that we're putting onto his little mask here that you see. Go all around the sides. Do it in any order you want. I've had some people ask me why I don't airbrush these. I feel I just get better detail with the brush. You know how that goes. So the reason I painted all those black is I figured, you know what, it might make it look a little bit aged as the paint kind of sees through it a little bit. You know, it gives it that depth for it. So now we have the seats. We're going to take these off of the sprues. That way we can paint these. You know, good stuff, because it's easier to paint these. Sometimes you can paint them on the spruce, but like this, see, got to turn it to the side. So we're using the same colors again, just makes it easier. Make it look a little rough. That's why I'm doing it by hand. It doesn't have to look perfect. It's a model. Make it look how you want. Model making madness. In fact, make it look pretty. Of course, we always have to get that in there. So here we go, just putting some little white splotches that I saw that were on certain things. Get right here where his mask doesn't cover. Go around. You know, we got our little tan color. Paint the helmet a nice white color. We're going to put some blue stripes on there. I looked at that from a reference photo from the model I did. That's what the captain had on, or whatever he was, lieutenant. Don't remember. Anyway, he's going to have some blue stripes on there. I did the best I could. Here we go, painting some straps. Makes it look good. You know, you spend a lot of time on these cockpits and the pilots. Pretty soon I'm just going to stop doing them and just do one video on how to paint a pilot, and then you'll never have to see this ever again. So that might just be what we start doing eventually. Not now, maybe later. So here are those blue stripes I'm talking about. I just winged it, painted them on, didn't care what they look like. They look kind of funny. Oh well. So here we go, back of the chairs. Painting these same gray color. I think it's like a dark gray, maybe medium gray. Don't remember. Whatever the instructions call for, you know how to do that. So here we go. I think this is a light gray color on the chair. Get the sides of it. Go all around. You know, there's seats. And now, of course, the cockpit. Light gray. It's going to have some black control panels with some silver and some grays in there. You know how that goes. So just be careful with it. We've got our chairs that you can see right there. Each one is a little bit different. We're going to put some decals on those a little later as well. So there's that. Always fun things to do with these models. You never know what's going to pop up. The decals were a little hard because, as you can see, this actually got some seat belts on there. So here we are, our joysticks. This one I think goes in the back, and then there's another one for the front, or vice versa, whatever it is. You know how that goes. Just stick them wherever you want to stick them. Really don't stick them where you want to stick them. So here's one of the other control panels. I think this one goes into the back because actually that one goes in the front. This one goes in the back. Or I don't know. We'll find out once we put it together. This is why I just wing my videos. So it's so fun to watch. Anyway, these will have some radars on there that you need to paint green. So remove these from the sprues. We can start assembling some of this cockpit chair, seats, control panels, all that good stuff, joysticks. Be careful. Make sure all the flashings, all that stuff was good on there. Cutting out the cockpit, of course. Couple of areas there. Here are the instrument panels, showing you those. They look good. Got our joysticks. I wasn't too concerned with how the paint turned out because, you know, they get wear on them. So it's just kind of wear and tear on the model. It works for me, so it should work for you. There we go, one more panel. So now we're going to paint this white on the back here because I forgot that. Want to make sure you get it all. Fun stuff. Fine tip brush here, painting little yellow lines. I'm sure I'll get a comment that I can use a marker or a paint pen, which I might start doing that as well because I bet that would come out very well and look better than what I'm doing. But you know, sometimes painting it by hand, it's nice because it lets somebody know, hey, you took a lot of time in doing this and you made it look good. All right, so here we are with our seat, still a nice olive green color. We'll get the sides. There we go. You see me getting that right there, and then of course the other side. There are two seats. I am only showing you one. No need to show you both because, well, it's a seat. They each look the same. All right, so we've got some straps on these. As you can see, that was a nice detail look of that. Paint the bottom here. Notice I'm not going all the way in. Why? There's no need to. The chair's going to sit on top of that, so we don't have to get it looking perfect. But you do want to make it look pretty. Alright, so we've got some instruments that we're going to paint here. I just have a little bit of black on there, and I go over them just to highlight them and, you know, paint some knobs silver, do the same type of thing. It is what it is. You can buy probably, I'm sure, resin parts that might look better than this or more realistic. You might be able to paint them better than I can. Doesn't matter. Getting all this a nice black color as well, and we'll highlight these in some silvers as well. And some white, I think. I don't know. We'll find out. Paint the joystick right there. That's the tip of it. And we have the other joystick. A little bit there. Not a lot. Just a little bit. Right there on the tip. Just the tip. I know we all know what that is. Painting just the tips of those. So there we go. Highlighting right here these instruments on the back. So here are these decals I'm talking about. They go right on the cockpit chairs. A little ridiculous, but they make them, so we're going to put them on, and it's realistic. Finally gluing some things together. Here's the ejection handle. We are going to put this carefully inside of this little slot here, which is on the chair, the back seat. There we go, that's one. You will do two of these, of course, because there are two chairs. So here I'm scraping away part of this decal once it's set, because the seatbelts technically are covering where wording should be. So you shouldn't really see wording on seatbelts because it's not really there. So getting that off, and you see what the remainder of that product looks like. Painting the buckles here. Here we go. So now you see why I scraped away the decal. Maybe I could have kept it painted, and you see remnants of the other decal. A little hard to see there, but it's there. So here's the rest of that. We're coming close to the end of this. We got 3 minutes left. So thank you for watching, and I do encourage you to watch all the video, all 10 minutes and 57 seconds of it. Painting silver right here are little handles, buckles, whatever you want to call them. All get a certain little color on them. There we go. Painting these buckles right here on the chair. Each one of them, front and back. Looks good. There we go. So here we go right now, slowly just going over those instrument panels. Going to get this, make those look good. Same thing with the others. Just accents a little bit of stuff on there. Got some green going on here for the radar. Going to put that right there. I basically took green paint and thinned it down a little bit to give it a clear translucent look. It looks halfway decent. I'm happy with it. So right here, we are assembling the cockpit pieces, which is basically getting down to it so we can put this into the plane. Got your control stick, got your back control stick, of course. After that, we are going to put in our instrument cluster. You see it's got that little insert there. Fits in nice and sound, just like so. That looks pretty. I like it. Put a little bit of glue right here. You see not too much on there. You see how that sits in. That's definitely the back. Yeah, I didn't care too much how that radar looked, but you know, it is what it is. So we put one chair down, and then of course the other chair will go in right behind that. And here's what this cockpit looks like. See our sticks, everything else. Little good detail right there. And that's it. So, look at that. Doesn't that look wonderful? I figured you'd want to see that because I know I want to see it. Anyway, that's the cockpit. Most of this video was basically the cockpit because you know it does take time to do it and I know you want to see it. Carefully glue this little man in. Otherwise, it's going to pop up. Makes me wonder why I even painted seatbelt buckles when I'm putting a man in the first place. But that's just me. So I did it. We're going to have to take his little arm and glue that in too. Here we go. And that will conclude this video, believe it or not, once that's glued in place. Here are some scenes coming up in future videos of this series. We're going to put the cockpit in, assemble the two halves like you see right there. Here's some fun stuff. We're going to paint this model. Wonderful tan, green, dark green. Anyway, I thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, and like. Got that wonderful camo pattern right there. Until next time, see ya.